guys, so today I'm here to do one of the most exciting videos to do, and that is to talk about my favourite books of the year. And today's video is going to be my top 15 books of 2017. And this is the third year that I've done this because I started it with top 15 books of 2015 because it correlated with the year, and then I was not going to keep rising the number each year I went, and I went into 2016 planning to only do 10, but there was 15 amazing books, so I'm just going to keep the trend going with top 15 of all the books that I've read this year, and that's about 16% of like all the books I read, so it's not too bad, really, not too bad. But all of these books, I absolutely loved them. They were amazing, beautiful stories, and I have also ranked them because I love ranking them and talking about my absolute hot favorite book of the year and then the ones underneath and underneath, because a lot of people just talk about their favorite books, but I like the ranking. I like to know the exact top book, favorite, ultimate, best thing of the year, and I am just excited to get into this video. So we might as well start because there is 15 books to talk about and me to praise about, so it's probably going to be a bit of a long video, but hopefully you will stick for the final book out number 1. So number 15 might come as a shock to some of you because it's actually Aka War by Sarah J Maas, and you guys were probably thinking, Aka Maas was number 1 last year, Abby, why is Aka War so low? It's because this book disappointed me, and I could not put this book on my most disappointing list and my favorites list because I have to give it a favorites mark. I gave it 5 stars. The fact that for a whole year my life was overcome with the need of this book and I could think of nothing else, and reading and watching TV and living my life was just leading up to this point. My life just feels incomplete now that I read this book, and I was disappointed in the ending because it just was not what I wanted. It was not what I wanted, and I'm just sad. But overall, I really liked the story and getting to see more of Rhys and Feyre and more of Cassie and Azriel and Mora and Amren and every character, and it was so great. And so many characters got the justice they deserved, and I'm excited for the novella because hopefully it will expand more on this ending that I just did not like. That's why it's low. This really should be like a honorable, I cannot say it. I've been trying to say this word, honorable mention, because it really is like kind of like, it's not the best thing for me, but I had to put it on the list because Aka War was number 1 last year, so I had to do it. Okay, but number 14 is P.S. I Like You by Casey West, and I did say I was putting this in my list. I already pre-wrote the list. I had to put this book and the number 13 spot down the bottom, but I probably could have put these up higher, but I'd already written down and figured it all out, and it was just too much effort trying to figure out where to put these books. But I have to say, I absolutely love this book. It was such a great contemporary. I think it has to be my favorite Casey West book now. Like, I never thought anything would overtake the distance between us, but this book has. I love the story and the plot and the idea of it and the romance, and it was just like the hate to love thing, and it's just like, oh, I loved it. It got me. It seriously just got me, and I just can't even, like, I loved it that much. So you probably know number 13 is going to be An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson, and just like, oh my god, yes. This was what I wanted, and I was so glad this lived up to the hype that I built in my head because I was just so excited when I first heard about this book, and then it was waiting, and then it finally got published, and it disappeared, so I couldn't buy it for like a month, and then I finally got it. It took forever to get here, but then I have it, and I read this book, and it's very short, so it's a very easy thing to get through, but it was just a beautiful plot, beautiful story, and great characters, and I just can't even. Just a quick thing too, guys, is any of these books that I've made a book review for, I will link down below so you can check out more of my like more cohesive thoughts of them. This video will be too long if I talk into too much detail about each book. If you want to know more or you are just curious, those will be linked all down below. Number 12 is Queens of Geek by Jen Wilde, and like everyone needs to read this. It's an amazing book. It's so geeky, it's so diverse, and it's funny. That's all you need. That's all you need. And I am so glad that there are so many contemporaries on my list this year, because last year there was a few, but there's even more this year, and I'm like, yes for contemporaries. But just, it's a beautiful, beautiful book, and just, you need to. Just like, if I could give it to you, I would, because you need to read this book. Coming in at number 11, I had to add The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, because this book just was like, psh, psh. The whole community is gone bloody crazy. Everyone is not the same since reading this book, and I read it kind of early on, and then it blew up, and it was like crazy because I read it. I was like, I feel like I was one of the first ones to read it, but then I really didn't feel that this was going to be like a really crazy, outstanding book that everyone was going to be obsessed with. And I just, oh my god, I can't even, like, I love the story of Star and her family and her life and the conflicts, and really shining a light on so many issues that people are living with now. And it's like, we never really understand it, but actually reading from this perspective and from this book, it was just amazing. Totally recommend it, and I'm so excited to read the next book that Angie Thomas is writing, because I feel like it's going to blow up the world again, because she's just a beautiful author, and I can't wait to watch the movie, and just everything about this book is just great, and I just honestly loved it so much, and I'm so glad I read it. Coming in at number 10 is Godsgrave by J. Kristoff, and obviously I had to add this to my list. It was so great. I did not expect this to be so amazing, because the first book I enjoyed, but it's just because of the slowness of the writing and the footnotes, it's really hard to stay in the story. And again, it was slow and hard to stay in the story, but because I already knew what was going on and I loved the story, I just read it. I was so excited. Like, it did take me a little while, but I was just and I just love Mia, Mr. Cuddly, and the story was just so different, and we got so many characters and just so much plot, and I'm excited yet very scared to read the third book, because I don't know what's going to happen. It's probably going to be like another whole flipped thing going on, but I really just love the Roman and the gladiator feel to this, and it was perfect, and you definitely need to read it. Okay, number 9 on my list is Lady Helen and the Dark Days Pact by Alison Goodman. Same thing with Nevernight, is the first book was very, very slow and so descriptive that it took me a while to get into it, and it was really hard to read it at a very fast pace, but this book I really did not have any problems. I was already invested. I just wanted bloody Lord Castleton and Helen, and I just needed the story, and it got so intense. And this book was published around this time last year. I need it, and there's no book published yet. It's like a 2-year wait between both of these books, and I hate it. Like, I need it. And this book was just beautiful, and I totally recommend it, because not many people have actually read this, so people need to read it. And it might be called the Dark Days Pact, or just the Dark Days Club in like different countries, because there's all different titles and covers for this series, so it is a bit confusing, but recommend it. Just you need to do it. Number 8 on my list is Frostblood by Ellie Blake, and like, this was a book I read at the start of the year, and it was one of my anticipated reads, and I just loved it. Like, this is the kind of story that I love. Like, you know, she's got powers and it's all corrupt and people are trying to attack her, and then she meets some brooding dude that you don't know anything about, but you fall in love with him instantly, and then they have a heart of gold, and you're just like, yes, it's everything that I want. And I just loved the relationship and the friendships and the story and the plot, and it's just great. And even though a lot of people actually didn't like this book, I loved it. But I'm really excited to read Fireblood, which I'm hoping to read this month if I have time, but then Nightblood comes out and it's all happening. But definitely, I absolutely loved it. It was just an amazing book. So for number 7, I have to add in Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. This is my new favorite thing ever. Like, honestly, this book was amazing, and I don't know why I didn't read it before. Like, I wasn't really a very diverse reader a couple of years ago. So I've really opened myself up to more diverse books, which is really, really good, I think, for me. And I just like experiencing all these amazing stories like Queens of Geek, this one. It's amazing. So I definitely love the story of Simon, and the movie I am so keen for it. But again, this is just such a cute contemporary story that everyone needs to read, and it just like blew and Simon, and it's beautiful. Coming in at number 6 is A Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. Like, of course this needs to be in my video, and just saying, like, I mean, I did read Lady Midnight, was my first read of the year, but this book, this is the one that I need to talk about here, and I just can't even, like, what even was this story and conclusion and ending, and just, I need the third book like now, and it's not coming out until December, but we're still getting it in 2018. It's not coming out in 2019 like originally planned, which was gonna kill me. So I'm just so glad that I'm gonna get the sequel, but this was done really well. It had so much angst and agony, and I just felt my heart being ripped from my soul, and you will love it. It was just like the best book she's written so far, and I'm gonna be, as I've said before, I'm gonna be doing a reread, so I am gonna reread this book near the end of the year, like November, so it's right before Queen of Air and Darkness comes out, but I just can't even, it was amazing, and I just want to read it again like right now, but I can't because I don't have time right now. But November is the month for this, but it was just, I just can't even, like, I can't even. Number 5 on my list is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Kerry Maniscalco. I can never say her name. Just Kerry, you know, this is by Kerry. But I don't know where this book was in my life before now. Like, why did I never read this before? Like, I thought it was going to be really, really scary. Probably that's the reason I thought it was going to be really, really scary, but it's not. It's horrific and, like, gruesome, but not scary. And that's the thing, is, like, I can sort of handle gore, but, like, anything terror related, I'm like, nah, can't do it. But this book was amazing, and it's brought to me a new book boyfriend of Thomas Cresswell, and I love him. And Audrey is such a great character and she's such a feminist, and I'm like, yeah girl, you do it. You go and cut up bodies in 1888 and you have a boyfriend and you have all this stuff happening and you trying to figure out this murder, but it's so intriguing and you just can't stop reading it. Like, that's the problem with this book, is you literally cannot stop. And I've recently finished the second one and I need Hunting Houdini and it's not out until September. Like, why is everything not coming out until like forever away? It's killing me so much. But I honestly loved this so much and I recommend the crap out of this. Okay, number 4 on my list is Flame in the Mist by Renee Ardier, and like everything she's gonna write I'm gonna honestly love. Like, since reading The Wrath of the Dawn, which was like one of my favorite books of like 2015, I've been waiting for her to publish a new book, and she did, and I loved it. It was so cool, like the Mulan elements, 47 elements if that's what it's called. I don't really know much about that, but still I can see that in there. It was beautiful. I love the story and there's magic and there's characters are amazing, and I just can't wait to see what's gonna happen in the next book because it's gonna be very intriguing and it's coming out. Smoke in the Sun is happening and I just, I can't wait. But I honestly just like such a kick-ass main character who was a princess kind of figure, and she's gone off and she's like, nah, I'm gonna fight all you bitches, and it was just amazing. Oh my god guys, coming up to the top 3 books that I read in 2017 and it's hectic, but number 3 is Tower of Dawn by Sarah J Maas. I honestly didn't expect the Throne of Glass book to be higher than the Akatar book, which was very surprising for me because I knew I was gonna like this, but so many people have been like downing on Cale and making him seem like crap that it's just made me really sad to want to read this book. But then I did it, I read the book, and like, my god, this was amazing. I absolutely loved it. It was a great story of Cale, and you get to meet Irene and Sartak and just all the great characters that I can't even, like, I loved it so much. Like, even though Nesrin is a character that I really like, she just irritates me because it's like, why are you here? You're ruining my life. Like, I just want my people to be together and you're ruining everything. But I just like this book so much, and Kel and Irene, and I just can't wait for these characters back to all the other Throne of Glass characters. And it was just such a great idea, and like honestly this would have been such a bad idea if she tried to put this in Empire of Storms. It would not have worked. And even though people are irritated that we had to wait until September to get the 6th or the 7th book of this series, who cares? We got an amazing book in the meantime. Like, yeah, we didn't see Aileen or Rowan or whatever, but we got to see Cale and Irene, and they're great characters, and we got to see like Cale's growth and development. It was just beautiful. It was beautiful. Okay, number 2 on my list is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This is an oldie but a goldie. That was just not how I intended that to come out, but it worked. It worked. But honestly, how did I never read this before? Like, I wasn't the biggest fan of the Grisha trilogy. Like, people talk it up so much and I'm like, what even? I don't get it. I don't get it. So I never read this series, but I knew I was gonna like it. Like, it sounded like it'd be really cool, but I just never did it. Like, I bought them and then it was a year until I actually read them, and oh my god. Oh my god, yes. The characters have such strong bonds and the plot was so great, and there's so many iconic lines in here that I never understood until now. Like, so many puns and memes that are made from this. Like, my ghost won't associate with your ghost. Like, yes. It was amazing and beautiful, and Crooked Kingdom was amazing too, but I have to talk about the first book. Like, the first book is like it's the one, and it's beautiful too, like, because it's like, you know, for deader hands. But I honestly want more books in this series though. Like, it killed me that it's over now. Hopefully we'll see more characters in the Nikolai trilogy that we're getting, and I'm so keen for that. I loved Nikolai, and I am so, like, you know, hate mail. I'm on the hate mail team. I loved Nikolai, so to have his own series is going to be amazing, so I can't wait. Honestly can't wait. And on to number 1, and if you've been on my channel for the past year, you're gonna know what it is, but Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. Of course it's gonna be this book. I've been saying it from the moment I read this book that it was gonna be my number 1 of 2017, and I was right. Nothing topped it. It is an amazing, beautifully written story of amazingness, and I have said amazing too many amazing times here, right guys? I'm sorry. I have like 3 describing words and I use nothing else, but I just can't even. Like, the writing is the main thing of this book. I loved Kuru and Avika, or whatever, or Akiva, I think it's Akiva, isn't it? Is it Avika or Akiva? But these characters are great. I love the story, and like the whole big twisty kind of crap that happens there was just like, oh! I'm planning to read the next 2 books in 2018. It's happening, okay? It is happening. I'm gonna try and make it happen, but I can't even. Like, I loved it so much. But anyway guys, those are my top 15 books of 2017, and there was a good mix of books in there, and I loved them all. Akawar is a bit iffy, but still I loved it. It got 5 stars. Like, I mean, I got to see Rhys and Feyre again, and that's the main thing, is to see Rhys because he his bae. He is life and he's Rhysand and I love him, but overall I had a really good reading year. Like, yes, it was the first time I got to film a disappointing reads video and I was hecka strong in that. And I am sorry if I offended anyone with my hecka strong opinions that I didn't realise I was holding in, but it's so nice to be able to talk about all the lovely books that I read this year, which is always a bonus and always a fun time. And anyway guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you guys later. Bye!